Hey, what's going on guys, Khraze here, welcome back to Outriders once more. Today we have a lot of news to talk about. A new update is dropping tomorrow. The patch, of course, that was supposed to release yesterday got a slight delay following a series of problems that the Outriders team has discovered before launch. So yeah, they are going to aim it for tomorrow, Thursday, which is going to be on the 15th. We also have to talk about some of the recent changes, as well as the fact that right now you do have the option to choose the fate of the game, considering, well, yeah, the loot system changes and everything that's gonna be happening following this. So we will discuss that and more in this video. As always, hit that like button if you enjoyed this, and let's jump right in. So coming in fresh with the news right here, bam, right now. We were aiming to release our latest patch today, but have been forced to make the difficult decision to push the patch back to Thursday. We're explaining this decision in detail, and of course we have the thread right here to go over. So there's a couple of issues that they have discovered, mostly crash related, so I'm not going to bore you with this. Essentially, there were two issues. The first one appeared to cause the game to crash on launch for a small number of testers, and after a certain number of these launch crashes, the game would launch without any issues and the crashes would not reappear going forward. The second one was the fact that if you had, for example, a pyromancer in your party as a party member, and that pyromancer had specific skills, like for example heat wave or overheat or tidal wave equipped, it seems that that would have also caused a crash for the other party members, assuming that you formed the party with such a player. Now this all sounds pretty serious. They went ahead and explained that they were able to trigger these crashes between 20 to 40% of the time, and that's a pretty significant number. That would mean that almost every third relaunch of the game might have given you a crash, which would bring us to square one again, as in like how it was before the last couple of patches that finally brought some stability to the game, or at least for the majority of the people. And it seems that they're still not yet fully certain if this bug was introduced by the new patch that has yet released, or if it's even existing in the live installation of the game. They mentioned that these crashes may already be present in the game but have never been formally diagnosed until now, mostly because they mentioned, yeah, testing did not encounter them until now. So if that is the case, introducing the new update wouldn't actually make anything more safe or less safe. But here is the option they went with. They had, well, three options. They could have released the patch that day, which was yesterday, having only partial information about these encountered crashes and running the risk of introducing new issues, including crash on launches into the game for an unknown number of players, and the fixes for these issues would have been rolled into the next available patch, so would have been like a week later, which was the case like in the past few months until the last couple of patches. And the second one was to just like delay the entire patch to fully understand these issues, fix them, retest the patch for a number of days, and then re-release the patch sometimes next week at the earliest. This in turn could also delay the next patch thereafter, and given the already long wait in between our last and this current patch, we wanted to avoid delays as much as possible, which is why they went with option number 3, or well, option C, delay the current patch until Thursday, which is going to be tomorrow, to gather more information about whether these issues and how often they occur are already prevalent in the game and how often they may occur. This means that the fixes for these issues would be rolled into the next available patch once we've identified and resolved the root cause. And that sounds like a sensible approach. Just see if these issues exist on the live servers, on the live version of the game. If they do exist already, just release the patch and then come with a fix a bit later on, and that way we both get the new update, continue to go with the new changes, and also with the game's current stability, while also knowing that the next patch after that would be a fixed patch that would address these issues in the first place. Now, with that being said and done, here is what you need to look forward to as part of this upcoming patch. We'll talk about the loot changes in just a little bit, but in the meantime, here are the fixes. So improved and faster Xbox sign-in process, process, improve matchmaking to reduce the chance of matching with an AFK player, so any player that is not interacting with the game for more than 2 minutes, that is, will be automatically removed from the matchmaking queue, which I think is an amazing choice right here. Interacting with NPCs or configuring skills, mods or builds is not considered AFK behavior, though being inactive for 2 minutes plus while being in menus or dialogue options is. Furthermore, they've improved the visibility of Broodmother's Surge AoE attack, which is the blue flames, fixed a bug whereby Scrap Grenade would stop working after a cinematic or when rejoining a session, resolved an issue with the Technomancer's Borealis set and changed its description to match the new behavior, fixed a bug that could cause the Trickster's Hunt the Prey to get stuck on activating, again like this is like the 3rd time they're trying to fix this, fixed a bug whereby bleed status from the armor mod Bloody Crush would not be inflicted on enemies hit with the Gravity Leap skill, fixed a bug whereby the Devastator's Blood Donation class mode wouldn't actually work if the players didn't have other active skill life leech nodes or mods, clarified the description for the Ravenous Locust mode, fixed a bug whereby dismantling an item might not have displayed the mod preview, fixed an issue that would cause the in-sync accolade to not properly unlock for client players, fixed an issue that could cause players to not get the proper reward if they completed an expedition during the final second of the reward tier, and other bug and crash fixes. This patch will also include the below tweaks, which can be considered a small rebalance. Please note that this is just a small tweak that requires code work and was already ready to be rolled into this patch. Our next patch after this one is intended to have more buffs for all classes, and this is like the significant part I was trying to mention. We are getting more buffs for the classes, and I'm kind of looking forward to buffs towards abilities and skills that we don't use that often, so that we can, you know, just so we can get other builds to work in the end game. I think that promoting other types of builds and other types of synergies in the end game would be a great idea, but they made some changes to the Pyromancer's Healthy Lifestyle mode and changed its description to match its new behavior, so this should improve survivability while channeling the Phaser Beam. So the Phaser Beam old description was that it would boost your health regeneration by X for Y seconds after the skill ends. The new description is that it boosts your health regeneration for the skill duration, and that's pretty much it. And yeah, I'm not sure if this is gonna be a good change. They are mentioning higher survivability, but we will see that in the full game. And there's a long list of changes right here that we're gonna follow up with a different update later on, and there's a list of ongoing issues that you can go ahead and check out. But in the meantime, I do want to focus on the next important bit and the final one, which is going to be our way ahead with the recent anti-duplication improvements and the new improvements to that. One very important takeaway here is in regards of the recent loot changes. Now these might happen separate to the patch that we're gonna see soon enough. These have their own fixes and like problems over there that are being addressed, but in regards to that anti-duplication improvement that we had recently a few weeks ago, there are some things that you need to know about it. So first of all, it was a really amazing change. It definitely helped a ton of players to get their missing items back, and they even mentioned this in the recent, well, patch note update right here. They mentioned that it does not guarantee that you will get a unique item with every drop, but it does appear to significantly reduce the time until players receive new uniques, which for most players out there would be exactly those very powerful items that they would be missing, like Yugake's Cowl or maybe Death Shield, Shotgun, or some other items out there, part of maybe a set that you might have been missing. So this helps you with that. But there is one outstanding question that we wanted to get everyone's thoughts on, and you now have the chance to decide the fate of the game, essentially how it goes forward in terms of loot rewards. So the system currently re-rolls a dropped legendary item once if it identifies that you already have said item on your character, in your inventory, or in your stash. This system, however, can make it a bit harder to farm for an improved version of a particular item if you are specifically relying on that item for farming. And they give a pretty good example right here. Let's say you have a Death Shield Shotgun equipped, which a lot of players will want and need, but you want to farm and get a better version of that role. The Death Shield, however, is a key component of your current build, which means that removing it from your character/stash in order to improve its drop chance may not be viable, since doing so cripples your build? And that's a very valid question and example right here. Let's say you already have a death shield. Because of the new anti-duplication improvement, you're not gonna get a death shield again unless like extremely hard, or at least harder than before, but this also means that you're not getting a better roll out of it in case you want a 99.4k version of the death shield if you're looking for that. So here is the proposal for an improvement of the system that they have in mind. So the anti-duplication system ignores any gear you currently have equipped when checking whether you currently own an item. Now on the upside, this would make it easier to farm for improved versions of your currently equipped gear, but on the downside, the hunt for unique items could become a little longer again, as your currently equipped gear wouldn't trigger that anti-duplication system. So that would be a total of 8 items that you have equipped on your character that would be on the do not reroll pool. So there's a thread down below that you can go ahead and follow and just like post your decision. What would you like to see going forward? I think that this is a pretty good idea to just like see what the community wants and see what changes they want to see in the game they are playing, but totally let me know down below what is your opinion on that. This is it for now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.